we are taking a look at what's happening this week in fashion and retail, from legacy department stores facing serious financial pressure to new aesthetics reshaping how we shop, dress, and even experience stores. There are major shifts underway. And to break it all down, we're joined by fashion and lifestyle expert, our dear friend Dawn Del Russo. Good morning to you, Dawn.
Good morning, Ken. How are you?
Good. Hopefully you're staying warm. Today, I love the term chunky sweater. If there's ever a day for a chunky sweater, today's the day. Break out the chunky sweater. Where do the
It is.
fashion and oh, too cold, too cold. Where do the fashion and retail industries stand right now? Because I know all industries are having some issues as people are shifting their spending habits. You got AI, et cetera. So what are the biggest
It's
shifts you're seeing across stores and brands?
yeah, it's wild right now. We've been kind of paying attention to this for a few months now, but Saks officially announced that they're going into bankruptcy protection, which is funny because it's a term that gets thrown around a lot, especially for businesses. But really, what it means is they are protecting themselves and the funds that they have to be able to continue to stay in business, which means they're going to be pulling back. It does hurt the little guys, which is sad because if you're a small brand and you just got this exciting opportunity in somewhere like Saks, you may not get paid. So that's a little
Mhm.
bit scary. Even some of the bigger brands they're showing, like I think Chanel, they owe close to like 100 to 200 million dollars. So we're talking a lot of money here that's on the table that they're dealing with. And so in that case, that's why they do the bankruptcy protection to sort of help them and figure out their finances in that type of way.
You know what? In 30 seconds, you explained business better than anybody on CNBC that I've ever heard in my life. You just explained. No, I'm
Oh,
serious. There's chapter 7, 9, 11, etc. Bankruptcy. You just explained it simply better than anybody
thank
else.
you.
And by explaining that there's 100 to 200 million potentially owed to Chanel, people forget that you have a potential domino effect, because if Saks can't pay Chanel, Chanel may go bankrupt. They can't pay their suppliers, right? Who supplied them with leather and fabric. So you could have this domino effect just because you figure, oh, okay, the big guy is in chapter 7 protection. It could impact everybody else down the line.
Exactly. And it is. It's which is I feel bad for like small brands that are in there and they maybe invested 50,000, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that could make or break a small business. So, and it's
Oh,
the
it
opportunity
sure
that you're
can.
probably going to take. I think if I was a brand and I had the opportunity to be in a store like Saks, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to figure it out and spend money I don't have to get the product in there. And you know, who knows? So these are challenges that happen in retail. I think that people don't realize, especially when you're
Sure.
working with a big store like that.
So now, what does that mean for people who may have a gift card, or if they have a gift that they got at the holidays and they want to return, or online shopping and things like that? Should people be concerned?
They're fine. They're okay. That's kind of part of what goes on is that they do want to make sure that on the customer end, that's okay. It's funny because you even think that you can go on there and they're liquidating, but they really don't liquidate until they're officially going out of business or
Mhm.
having to close down. So there's not really going to be you're not going to see these sudden sales or anything like that. It's pretty much business as usual with them
Yeah.
from a consumer standpoint.
Again, and you explained it perfectly. There's you said they're in bankruptcy protection, which is exactly what it is,
Right.
chapter 7. That's the first level. All it's saying is, look, we may be a month late paying Chanel. We're going to pay them. We got money coming in. We just have some outstanding debts, whatever. We have to take care of things in order. Don't come sue us if we're 30 days late. That's basically all chapter 7 is, right? We still got money. We're
Yep.
not going out of business yet. Just give us a little time. So that's a good thing.
Exactly.
And we've talked about the rise of the anti-AI aesthetic, where perfect visuals are out and more authentic, lived-in looks are in. I know as a guy who wears suits all the time, first thing I look at is the lapel. I want to see if it's a handmade suit. And usually the old indicator was if you saw stitching along the lapel, it was handmade. Then they started making computers do it. But you could
Yeah.
tell if it's done perfectly, it's a computer, it's AI. You want to see the little flaw here and there, right? So why is that
Yeah.
trend taking hold now?
Yeah, I think there's been so many years now that we're seeing. I mean, there's been such a buildup that we're in AI and we're looking at these pictures and we're like, is it real? Is it fake? And a lot of them, like you said, you can tell that they're just not real. They're too airbrushed. They're too perfect. But I think we're all a little tired of that and trying to figure out a new way. And we're moving away from that very perfect, clean aesthetic where everything looks gorgeous to this more, this is my life. This is real life. There may be some mess in the background or around, and that's, part of what's making a change, I think, is that we're not seeing that perfection anymore, and that we're not seeing that really polished look. We're looking for real people, real life, things that look like, they're part of, the normalcy that we see every single day, not the fluff.
Gotcha. And Macy's is now continuing to close stores as part of its long-term strategy. So what does that tell us about the future of traditional department stores and the role that physical retail still plays?
I know it's shocking. Macy's is closing around 14 stores, and they're doing this to really, I think they're making more of a move towards digital and showing that aspect of it. They want to have more digital growth. Macy's is trying to be on that side of things, which is funny because it is such a traditional, classic department store that we're used to seeing, where you walk in, you pick your clothes out, you're not really thinking. I don't think as much to go online and let me shop Macy's, but that's the direction that they're looking to go in.
And then we got Fashion Week. We got 30 seconds. Talk about Fashion Week.
As Fashion Week is coming up in February, every February we have it. The CFDA just announced the New York Fashion Week schedule, so we'll know when that's going on. It's a big time of the year for fashion. We see all the new designers come up with their clothing and their lines, and it's where we pull trends and colors and all of those type of things out during New York Fashion Week.
Queen fashionista herself, Dawn Del Russo. Always awesome to have you on, my friend. Have a great week and stay warm. Chunky sweater, chunky sweater.
Yeah. Thank you, Ken. You too.